So how do you break your limiting belief? Because these are the things that are holding you back from living your dream life right now. And so first you need to understand, what is the belief that you have about yourself? Okay, my belief was I am afraid to speak to women. Why did I have that belief? Well, I thought I was really weird, but that was only because I had a pornography addiction. So I always thought that she could read that shame on me and she could read that weirdness on me. So that's why I thought I was weird. The pornography addiction has nothing to do with me going up and speaking to women. So that fear is gone. What is that for you? Also, why was I afraid to speak to women? Well, she won't want to talk to me because I'm not very interesting. Because I always thought I needed to have these crazy lines, these crazy openers to keep her interested in the conversation. But because I never spoke to a woman before, that wasn't true and I never knew if that was true. So that's eliminated as well. That belief is not true because I have no proof of that being true because I never tried. Even if it did happen in the past, maybe I did have a conversation in my past where the conversation didn't go right. Maybe I stuttered, maybe I said the wrong thing, but I was trying to say the right thing. You can't hate your past self for the things that you were trying in your past, because all you were doing in your past, all your younger self was doing was just trying to live the best life that they could. You just have to forgive yourself. And when you have love for yourself like that, you will learn to forgive yourself, forgive other people, and then you can truly step into your future because you've waved that past self goodbye. But if you never forgive your past self and you continue to hate your past self, you will never get to where you want to be because you will always be clinging on to the thing that happened to your past. And loving yourself is one of the most powerful emotions because even God, that was his main priority, is loving us, and that's why he sent his son down to earth to die for our sins. So you need to learn how to love yourself. This is such an important concept to understand. Both of these are eliminated. Therefore, there is no fear of speaking to women because none of these fears that we have, none of these beliefs are even true or have any correlation with the actual belief that we have. So therefore, this belief isn't true either. Perfect. Now that we know that what we believed before wasn't true because none of our whys that we had were true either or had anything to do with the first belief that we had, now we can future pace. And remember, you can't hate your past self for believing these things because they were just trying to live the best life they could, and the brain is always trying to keep us safe. So your younger self was probably thinking these things to keep themselves safe. So this is broken. We no longer have this belief. Now, once we understand that this is no longer a belief, you unlock it. So what do we place in our minds now so that we can believe something that is true? Well, this is where you future pace. Who do I want to be? So this is where you get to manifest. This is where you get to have fun. And now you can think of your future, think of the life that you actually want, and you get to place it into your current life. Something that's been helping me is to go on walks outside at night, listen to my favorite songs, look at the stars, be grateful, and allow God to speak to me. Allow him to give me visions, allow him to show me internally what I should be working on. Now, you don't have to do that. Whichever way you like to manifest, do that. But this is the point where you get to have fun and you get to decide, who do you want to be? And you can be anybody that you want. But when you figure out who you want to be, this needs to be specific. It doesn't need to have all the details. What you want to do here, say your goal is monetary, don't think about the money that you want. You need to envision the life that you have after you have the money. This is such an important part. I'm reading Reality Transurfing by Vadim Zeland. It's also a book in my community that you can pick up. This is so important. He talks about these same exact steps. Can't envision you achieving the goal. Yes, that is good and that will help. However, you need to envision the life that you will have when you get this. Who do I want to be? Envision that life when you have that success. And that is what you put in here. Write that down. Make a video like I am right now, talking to yourself about it if you don't want to write it. And so you can keep it and always look back to it. Another key important step, once you envision the life that you have when you have the success, hold on to that joy that you have. Hold on to the tears that might flow out, the tears of joy from envisioning your life, from overcoming this past belief and figuring out who you want to be now. Hold on to that joy. Hold on to it for as long as you can and always keep coming back to that joy. Believe that it's already done. And that's what holding on to that joy does. But the belief is not locked in yet. That's why this is still open. To lock your belief in place, to lock your future into your current self, into your actual reality, you need to do this one step: action. You can't just think of the thing that you want, envision it so vividly, which is super important, but you also need to take action as well. Without this step, this will stay a dream. But once you start taking the first step, this is not a dream anymore. You are actually making that dream into your reality. You need both, because if you just take action, but you still had these beliefs, you would never get to your dream reality, because your beliefs create your reality. Everything you believe comes true. So therefore, if you were acting off of this frequency in your mind, you would still confirm this, because even if I was speaking to women with this thought, they would look at me with the weird look, they would read the energy. But once I break that thought and I think of this and I take action, this becomes my reality now. And therefore, with action, our dreams are now our reality. It only takes time. But something you have to understand is that you need to be grateful now that you have the dream and now that you're taking the action. Because just like we said, with self-love, with gratitude, you will get everything that you want. But when you are taking your action, you almost need to forget about the outcome. You already know this will happen in your future. You've seen the vision, you felt the gratitude, the amazing feelings that you have once you get this. That's how you know it is your reality. Your only focus now is to just act. That's it. Just take that next step that you know to take that will get you here. Sometimes you don't even know. You just have to try, but you're taking one step. And when you do this and you just focus on that next step, trust me, man, trust me, you will get there so much sooner than you think. So glad you made it to the end. Type in the comment what limiting belief that you broke today, because it'd be so joyful to understand what you are going through and what you will be getting to and where you will be getting to really soon. Also, join my free school community, first link in the description, where I'm helping young men and young women do this in real time on calls and helping them break their limiting belief and live their dream life. Because it's not a dream, it can be your reality. You just have to know the right steps to take and to actually take those steps. And as well as the calls, you'll also just be surrounded with other people that are doing the same exact thing as you. Of course, there's more modules on this and other aspects of living your dream reality, being able to talk to people, of course, manifesting and understanding your thoughts, because that is such an important thing, as well as the action and growing your faith. So join that community, first link in the description, and also subscribe to the channel for more videos like this and more to come.